There comes a time in your life where you're going to have goals that you want to do. Not obligations, but goals. These could be things like losing weight, getting in shape, making a ton of money online, or maybe just small things like improving your self-confidence or the ability to talk to others. So you might start something on the journey to get there, whether that be signing up to the gym, you might start talking to strangers in public, you might start that online business and start a hustle, you might start posting on Instagram, and then all of a sudden, maybe a month passes, maybe two, maybe it's been 2 weeks or one, and then after a while, things kind of get hard. Things kind of get stagnant. The thing and the motivation and that urge that you got in the first place to originally go out to achieve that goal, it kind of fades. And then you're kind of stuck in your head deciding if you should still do it because it's uncomfortable. Because first of all, the work you're now doing is uncomfortable. It takes time. And there's this thing in your body that pulls you more towards doing the easy things like scrolling your phone, sleeping in, or just eating the junk food. Now, these are all things that require discipline. You've probably heard it before, and you've probably heard the talk about discipline and motivation, but even if you have, or even if you haven't, I'm going to explain to you how to build rock hard discipline. Because the way I see it, if we didn't have discipline in our lives, we would fall apart structurally. So many people have ambitions, whether it be to get in killer shape, it could be starting that business, it could be trying to just do something that you've never done before. And obviously it's going to be hard, you're going to suck at it, and you might want to give up. And at the end of the day, motivation isn't going to get you to your goals. Yes, it might help, and some days you might feel more motivated than others, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to being disciplined and getting it done. So in this video, I'm going to go over 3 key steps that you should do to build lasting discipline that doesn't fade, that helps you stick to your goals, and that will help you never rely on motivation ever again. The number one thing that I preach when it comes to building discipline is just do the hard stuff. The reason I say that is discipline is built through doing things you don't want to do. No discipline is built through doing things you want to do because you want to do it. It's enjoyable. Like, you don't build discipline doing things you want to do. I mean, for you right now, you could say that going for a morning walk is building discipline because it's going out there and doing something physical. Or maybe it could be something as small as just doing the dishes or hanging out the clothesline. Or maybe it could be posting that one post a day. And you might say that's discipline. But the way I see discipline is doing the work you don't want to do. There will come a time in life when you're approaching a goal or you're approaching something that you want to achieve. It could be extremely ambitious, and there might be times where you actually don't want to do it. It could be waking up early in the morning and going to do the cardio, not eating the snacks at night. It could be going out with a bunch of friends and choosing not to drink. And all those things might feel enticing. They might intrigue you to do. And they're obviously going to be so much easier. The way I see discipline is choosing to do the hard stuff over the easy stuff. There have been so many mornings in my life where I've woken up when I was in bodybuilding prep and I didn't want to go and do morning cardio. I was tired, I was starved, I was sore, and I had no energy. And I said to myself, I sat down with myself and I was like, well, how bad do I really want it? How lean do I really want to get for this bodybuilding show? And it really comes down to doing the hard work. And if you're someone who's really trying to build discipline, you're trying to build that self-trust, that self-willpower, and your ability to trust yourself, you've got to do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Because when you do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it, all of a sudden, the hard work doesn't become so hard. You get used to it. You build that pattern with yourself. You build that trust with yourself. The more you keep doing the hard things, the easier the hard things are going to become. And then all of a sudden, the hard things won't be hard anymore. So the most important thing that you can do is just to do the hard things, especially when you don't want to do it. Because if you know those things are going to get you closer to your goal, whether that's getting in shape, starting that business, or any other aspiration, you might be at a roadblock where things might be hard, things might be uncomfortable. Do the work. Because in the long term, they're going to help you get towards your goals, and they're going to help you build that rock hard willpower and that rock hard discipline. The next thing that I want you to do on your path to building rock hard discipline is lower the bar. The reason I say this is so many people out there in the world, when they start something new or they're on their journey to achieving a goal, they try to go from 0 to 100. And I talked about this in my previous video, but so many people try to go all out. They try to go down out. They try to do so many things and they get burnt out. And they might say, oh, I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to go to the gym 6 times a week. I'm going to eat only clean food. I'm going to cut carbs. But the thing is, that just leads to burnout. And all of a sudden, it's not discipline. It's just torture. And the key thing to remember is that everyone's at different stages of life. If you're a really obese person and you're trying to lose weight, obviously just going for a morning walk might be hard for you. You may not want to do that, but you go ahead and do that. Or for someone who's like me, who's quite in shape and knows how to handle his fitness, maybe it could be waking up in the morning and doing 40 minutes of cardio. That could be a struggle for me because I don't want to do that, but I go ahead and do that. It just depends about where you are in life. What is hard for you, you go and do that. Don't set out to do something insanely hard just because you aren't there yet. Set a low standard so you can give yourself that win, that win right away. Because the easiest way to build that discipline and to build that willpower within yourself is to win, is to do the things that you don't want to do. And if you were to see yourself some crazy goal of doing some crazy hard thing, of course you're not going to get it because it's out of reach and you can't do it. And then you won't end up building that discipline with yourself and that mental will. So the one thing that I want you to do is just lower the bar. You need to set the standards for yourself and make these tasks so easy that you can just do them on a day-to-day basis so you don't have to miss them, so you don't have to end up forgetting about doing them, or you just skip them because they're too hard. Because obviously if you're going to say, hey, I'm going to run a marathon every day, not every day you can have the energy to run a marathon. You might have work, you might be tired, your muscles might be sore. Set the standards low and set the bar low and set easy things for you to do on a day-to-day basis. If you're trying to lose weight, maybe it could be doing 20 minutes of cardio every single day. It could be sticking to that diet, or it could be going to the gym for about 40 minutes a day just to do a workout. Over time, consistency will compound, and then you'll be able to look back at yourself and say you're proud of what you've done, and you'll be glad that you stuck with the hard stuff and you stuck with the stuff that you didn't want to do. Oh my god, I don't want to do this YouTube video. I'm so tired. I'm tired. I don't want to act enthusiastic for the camera, but we're getting it done. And finally, the third thing that I want you to focus on is remove choice. I need you to build systems within your life that allow you to do these tasks. The easiest way I can say this is set non-negotiables for yourself. Set things up in your day-to-day life that you have to do, that is so easy that you can do. Coming back to the thing that I said before, set things that are easy, non-negotiables, and that are going to get you towards your goal. If that's losing weight, stick to the diet every single day. Hit a workout every single day. Depending on the goal and what you're wanting to achieve, set yourself non-negotiables that you stick to every single day that will help you towards that goal. Think about it like this. The person you're working for right now, if you're working a job, if you decided when you went to work and how long you went to work, I bet you'd barely go. You wouldn't go to work, but with your boss, they tell you, okay, you've got to be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 9 to 5. So you've got those systems in place, so you're like, okay, I'm just going to go and get it done. It's the same thing with building discipline. Set yourself systems so you can go ahead and do those things. So they're non-negotiables. You can do them on a day-to-day task and you know what you need to do and when you need to do it. Because the one thing that'll break your discipline and that'll break your mental power is just being so stagnant, having things all over the place. If you don't have a set structure that will help you towards your goal, then you're going to be less likely to be inclined to do it or be inclined to do the hard stuff, especially when you don't want to do it. So to recap on all the things that I said there, do the hard stuff, especially when you don't want to do it. Lower the bar and raise the standard. And remove choice and build systems in your day-to-day life that make building that discipline with yourself so much stronger and so much easier. And look, I'll be honest, discipline isn't sexy. It's boring. It's repetitive. And all it is just doing the same thing over and over and over again. But at the end of the day, when it comes to achieving your goal, when it comes to achieving a fitness goal, when it comes to achieving a business-related goal, it's about doing those boring things over an extended period of time, regardless of how you feel. It's about, as I said, this is going to link back to building the systems. It's about having a plan within yourself that you stick to what you're going to do and you say what you're going to do. Because if you decided what you wanted to do, whenever you wanted to do it, or whatever you wanted to do, you'd never get to your goals. Because obviously there's going to be days where you're not motivated, where you don't want to do it. But it's about building those systems with yourself to be able to do the things, especially when you don't want to do it. Like, for example, I am tired as hell. I've had the gym workout. I have no energy. I don't want to be recording this YouTube video. But I've set a non-negotiable with myself that I need to do one YouTube video per week. So I'm out here recording a YouTube video for you guys. Discipline is the fastest way you can build self-trust with yourself, and you can build the strongest willpower that'll get you to your goals. Okay, that's pretty much a wrap on today's video. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Show some love. And the one thing that I urge you to do is do something hard, especially when you don't want to do it. Build those systems and remove the easy choices and set the standard. Set the standard for yourself to achieve those goals. But that's pretty much everything for me. I appreciate you guys watching and take care, and I'll see you later.